Well, good morning, you lovely people. So today is actually the day I'm going to go and return for the famous catfish called Lemon. Currently 10 to 6 on a Friday morning. Hopefully try and get there and bag ourselves a peg. Trouble is because it's a bit of a shame really, because it holds 10 pegs. You can book up to 10 pegs online, but then you can get people that just turn up and pay day tickets or pay on the day. So really it's first comes first serve with this peg. The peg that I'm after is the peg where I had Lemon from before, so hopefully we can get there nice and early this morning and get ourselves set up on that peg. So I'll catch you when we get there. We've got all 3 rods out now, just fishing 2 over one spot, and then I've got a separate rod over on the tree line. Bait of choice, just gone for pellet and boilie, keep it nice and simple. Halibut pellet, nice summery oily bait. Pretty much use them all the time anyway. Boilie choice, in the summer I tend to use a boilie that breaks down a lot quicker, just because fish are feeding more, a bit more active. Obviously winter months you'd probably use a bait that's a bit more solid, durable, that's going to be sitting out there a lot longer. But yeah, a lot of movement in the water at the minute, so hopefully it shouldn't take long to get a bite. Quite confident, to be fair. Yeah, other than that, hopefully we can get something on the end, some in the net. Right, so any summer tips? If I had any summer tips, it'd be, well, it all depends on where you're fishing. Obviously, this Pacific pool, a lot of people should automatically think big fish, a lot of bait. But this time of year, summer, it's worth having that little cast around in different spots, little PVA. Obviously, when I'm fishing the tree line, I've always got quite an hefty mix anyway. That's because that tree line rod then will just stay there. Obviously, I have a few recasts of it in there, but it will stay there pretty much the 24 hours that I'm doing in that Pacific spot. But on the other 2 rods, if you're fishing 3 rods, just have a little play about. Yeah, like the lake is all different depths, so they might want to move into the shallows for a couple hours or come back into the deeper depths later in the day. So you've got to make sure you're looking for all them different things. But yeah, that's probably the biggest summer tip you could probably think of, really. But PVA mesh, a lot of people say use them in the winter, but the fishing's so active in the summer that if I was to fish maybe 20 minutes there, 20 minutes there, you got more chances of leaving your rod on a baited spot for an hour, you know what I mean? So don't back down on changing your spot, like, especially in this, probably about 26 degrees today now, so I'm thinking they're going to start moving towards that island over the back in the shallower waters, and then I'll probably just go from there. Right, so we've had just a bream as of yet, but it is what it is. Quite warm this morning. Just having little knocks like that throughout the day, just bream. Smaller carp, I suppose. But yeah, he's had a right laugh this morning. We've had like arguments between who's picking what peg and that. But like I said, if anybody ever does come down here, there's no such thing as reserving pegs and that. It's just first come, first serve. Get yourself down here early enough. I think he wants people to start arriving about 7 a.m. But as I say, you just gotta get down here and get your peg. Obviously, point peg over there as well. Normally fish, couldn't get on there this morning, so ended up here. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, so what I've done is made up a little PVA mesh mix, just a couple of the halibut pellets, crushed up boilies, and just a krill glug. Just making little bags like that. That's what I've been doing today, this morning, just to pick out a little couple of fish from the island. Yeah, just literally casting that out. Just quickly show the rig that I'm using and then get it back out on that island. Then down to the business end, the rig end. Just got a bit of rig tubing, just because I'm fishing quite tight to that island. Just stops any damage to the line really. Got a little 3-ounce fox lead, and that's just weight really, just for the distance to get out to that island. Sliding lead, and then down to, got a little boom section, and then finished off at the end of that is it's a little slip D multi-rig. So you've just got the movement there, just so we can move. Obviously you got the stiff boom, just so it kicks that rig out when you've casted. And then I've just got a little bait screw, just for quick simple bait changes really, boilies and whatnot. Then I've got a little straight shank hook. And that's landed the first bream. Hopefully we can get some carp on it, but yeah, that's the rig, nice and simple. A little bit of anti-tangle sleeve there just to kick that boom out when it casts. And yeah, that is the rig. Got that on all 3 rods, so see what happens. Right, a lot of people tend to not use these, but obviously each to their own. For the sake of 30 seconds, just to put your mind at ease, just to stop your hook from picking up any debris on the way down really. I'll just literally get a chunk off like that, and I'll just put it on my hook point just as I cast that. But you can also use them for, say if I cast it out, I'd use it as a marker then just to bait up round. But this occasion, because I'm fishing the tree line and I can pretty much and bait it and feed it, just tend to put it on this hook point stopper really. So there's your hook point, and if you can see that, and then I'll just cap it off like that. Should mix like that. Well, she's been sat a couple of hours now, so it's just started to break up nice and easy. Absorbed all that liquid. So that's the mix that I'm going to put down on the tree line tonight. Probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight, and then we can just sit on it, and hopefully it will do its job. But if you could smell that, it's giving off some stench. Like it's probably about 40 degrees in this bivvy at the minute as well, so it's sweated up nicely in that bucket with the lid on. Oh, cork open that bivvy any longer. If I had a thermometer in there now, it's going to come up to about 40 degrees. I'll say complaining about the heat, like, but I just think we need to wait till it's about 6:30, 7 tonight. Hopefully drops just slightly. That's all you need, just slightly, and then hopefully we can get them down, get them down feeding. But I have noticed with this place in the daytime, there's certain times when I seem to switch on and start feeding, like, but until then, I think last time it was probably about 5, 6 o'clock on the evening, like, we just started fishing on the surface and they were just coming up for like nothing. But I'll just go for a quick dive in there, like. Nah, but until then, I'll keep you updated. Hopefully we can get a fish in the net. I feel fairly confident. I think tonight's going to bring a bit more action. But see what happens. So the plan is now just to bait, door down this edge here, and then get them grubbing. Now there's one empty bucket, ready for the top up. So the plan is, obviously we've got all that margin straight down here, and it just gives them a bit more room to start feeding a bit later on. And then what we'll do then is just freehand boilies and pellets over the top of that as we cast the rig in. Probably leave it about an hour though, and then we can chuck a rod on it. Right, so anyone just starting off or a bit unsure of what to have in the tackle box, obviously this might be in a bit more detail than some people's tackle box. What you need, it's just because you tend to build up on it over the time. But literally I've got shot on the hooks just because I think them absolutely banging. Little chod beads, got a little hook there that I use for my zigs, kickers, hook beads, bait stops, tweakers. Tweak is just a similar bait stop basically, just by OMC. I've got bead stops, use them quite a lot in my fishing, shrink tubing, cork, that's 4mm. You can get 6 and 8mm. Little zig rig there, anti-tangle sleeve, ring swivels, corn, pink. Just kept that separate because I've got a few different ones in here that I do normally have in there, but I've actually run out at the minute. And then I've just got D kickers because I use them quite a bit, claws, cracking hook, long shanks, just different variety of hooks really, just for different things. There's the yellow corn. I've got some more kickers there, some little loops, more hooks, choddies, size 6, some more hooks, chod hammers, spinner ring swivel, micro swivels. There's your pink corn, got some orange maize,
up beads, quite essential actually in your tackle box, because you tend to use them quite a lot when you're making your own rigs. Got bait screws, if you want to use them, you know what I mean. These are just things that I put in my tackle box. Crank X hooks, some more hooks, ring swivels, shrink tubing, spares. I think a lot of people would probably need to have a first aid spray in the tackle box. Definitely essential, just a little squirt when you've hooked the fish. Just looking after the fish really. I've got some little surface floats in there if I need them. Scissors, definitely an essential. A bit of ring putty. Again, if you tie your own rigs a lot, you might need to use that. Got a little touch me up. That is definitely go-to. That I'd probably keep in your tackle box. Got some chod filament, because I do tie a lot of my own chods, and some boom. Got a few different bait flosses, a few different end traps. Again, if you're tying your own rigs, you don't need them in your tackle box. And then really your essentials, your little baiting needles. Got a couple of different varieties. Got a longer one there if I need to use that. Some crimp pliers, a little rig puller, quite an essential bit of kit, I should say. Little bait drill for when I'm baiting, drilling my baits out, and then a little stripper tool. Again, up to you, but it is quite an essential bit of kit, to be honest. And yeah, that is what I tend to keep in my tackle box on most sessions. But yeah, each to their own. That's just the way I have mine set up, nice and labelled. Obviously, the reason I keep labels when I'm running out, running low, I could just top it back up, keep it on a running process. What an absolute difficult day it's been. As I said, it can be hard down here. Obviously, people that have fished it will know. In the daytime, especially with the heat we've had, just like I said, it's about 40 degrees in this bivvy this afternoon. Trying to keep myself together to be able to put it into the fishing, but yeah, even still, it's been quite an enjoyable day. Had a little mini little baby cat just there. I put it on, and yeah, other than that, it's been more of a bream day really. But I think obviously I'm going to try and get a bit of kip now, leave the rods out, put two on the one spot, chucked a load of bait out of there, and I've left one down the margins. Again, a lot of bait down there, so hopefully, well, normally when I put my head down I'll get a run, but if that is the case, be quite happy with that tonight, just to finish off the day session. Hopefully get some early morning. It has been known, it's happened before, so yeah, if I do get one, I'll keep you updated. So nothing major really to update on the bank this morning. Got snapped about 6 o'clock this morning. That was pretty much it all night. Had a couple of knocks here and there on the rods, but as I said, I suppose just got to remember when I'm doing these 24 hours, these live catches, it's whatever I catch or whatever I don't catch, to be fair. So, but yeah, it's been a nice morning to wake up to. On the plus side, it's my birthday today, so happy birthday to me. And we've got a nice little view behind us. Sun's out nice and early as well, so. But as I said, we've got about an hour and a half left don't look too promising, to be fair, but I've got the rod back on the spot where I got snapped, and then that's all I can do really. Just hope and pray that we can get a little fish for the camera. And but if you did watch this, thanks for watching. I will do a part 2 where I'll come back and hopefully we can get a few more. But as I said, it's been quite quiet on the old lake, to be fair. Oh, it's a lad in now. Yeah, lad's got a nice little carp on now. That's what I mean, it's different times of days that seem to feed on here. It's quite an hard fishery, as I probably said before. But yeah, fingers crossed we can get a little one. But again, if you did watch this video, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.